Playing the Doctor is slightly different every time you do it because it depends on the script. And also, it's not as if I filmed a series in one go. I mean, I've played him about 7 or 8 times now, or on separate projects, but that's stretching from 1996 till, 2012, so it's been spaced out in between.
Broadly speaking, when I cast him in The Doctor in the Millennium Trap and then directed him in Web and Fury, tended to let him make most of his journeys and decisions by himself. He's a very, very good actor, and I trust his instincts. Occasionally I would tweak something as we went along, but broadly speaking, he would take elements from different Doctors, combine them with his own exuberant personality. Certainly when I started doing it, the first time I ever played him, which was on stage in 1996 in The Planet of Storms, he was very Troughton-like. Because Patrick Troughton always has been, I suspect, will be my favourite Doctor. He was slightly impish and ran around a lot in a baggy frock coat, and it was a lot of fun to do, and I felt happy with that. But then, this is the interesting thing, when Rob asked me to be in Millennium Trap, which was the first thing I'd ever done on film, the Doctor kind of came out of film acting techniques, because on stage I was, but of course on film you have to be, intense and quiet and underplay it, which is a dangerous word to tell any actor. So my Doctor in that was rather darker and quieter and serious. And so when I played him again in Web of Fear, which came after Millennium Trap, it was kind of a mixture of the two. I'd taken my stage Doctor and my screen Doctor and merged them together and come out with something in between. And then when I did it afterwards in Fury from the Deep, I finally got the happy medium between the two that makes it feel good. The version, if there was a chance of seeing him in Planet of Storms compared to, say, Fury from the Deep or Evil of the Daleks or one of the others, you'd probably see a very clear progression. And I dare say the Doctor that he plays now and the Doctor he played then are two radically different sort of characters. And it wasn't until about the 3rd or 4th time that I played him, which was in Fury from the Deep, that I really felt like I got him. I found my Doctor, and there he was. And this sort of character that I feel comfortable with kind of slips on as easily to me now as my brown corduroy jacket I wear.
Well, Nick is a dreadful actor and should never be employed by anyone. No, I think Nick is brilliant as the Doctor. I first saw it on video in the Millennium Trap. I was looking at lots of videos that had been sent into Doctor Who magazine because I was Gary Russell's lodger at the time, and so he showed me these videos. And when I saw the Millennium Trap, I just said, this guy's really got something. There's a definite characterization there, and there's a sort of, dare I say it, in case Nick hears it, a sort of charisma, which is essential for the Doctor, essential for any leading man, really. And he continues to bring that to it.
No, no, no! As my life has changed, though, because when Fury from the Deep came along, I think perhaps, I don't wish to sound too ethereal here, but I'd become a father by then. And that does change you as a human being quite markedly. And because the Doctor is a father, there was an aspect to his character that I hadn't clicked on before, and that kind of sums up my Doctor, I think. I kind of think of my Doctor as being a paternal person, someone who has experience of being a father, and being caring and being compassionate.
Well, think of all those people we've helped. You wouldn't want them to go on living with evil overshadowing their lives forever, would you?
But it's always us.
If not us, then who?
But I think my Doctor, I tend to think of him as being a little bit more human, because I am a controversial Doctor Who fan in that I like the fact that it was announced that he was half human, because I think that makes a lot of sense with his character, and that's something I latch onto. The Doctor's human and paternal side, and that's when I'm feeling doctorish now. Look, I'm starting to do this sort of thing. When I think of that kind of channels me towards my Doctor. So that came about really with Fury from the Deep.
So far, so good, Jamie.
So he is, as he himself has described himself, he's a much more human Doctor than some. He doesn't play up the alien qualities, but he does still have that exuberance, that youthful excitement that the Doctor still has, even though he's past 1,000. And I think that communicates itself very well. And it's a very charismatic character that engages the audience.
And he's a formidable presence on stage as well. Watching him every night doing the stage production I was involved in, he really, gets the audience in the palm of his hand. He's the Doctor, You feel confident and safe with him, and also he's just really exciting to watch as well.
What are you afraid of?
The Daleks fear nothing and no one.
Yes, you do. Because that final conquest has eluded you, you fear humanity as much as you hate it.
Silence!
And I think as long as you get certain elements of the character right, then it fits. It's rather, I suppose it's rather like playing Sherlock Holmes. You can play Sherlock Holmes or the Doctor any way you like, but as long as you get certain elements correct, then it'll fit. If you don't get those right, then you look at it and go, oh, it's not quite right. But as long as you get the essential elements of the Doctor right, I mean, he's got to be inquisitive, he's got to be eccentric, he's got to have that moral sense, a kind of moral authority, and just, it's hard to analyse it really, but a doctorishness. As long as you've got a doctorishness that you're happy with and comes across on screen or on stage, then you're there.
And that, of course, is ultimately the important thing. It's not how you think your character is or the director thinks the character is. It's whether the audience respond to him. And the audiences have always responded extremely positively to Nick's interpretation from the moment that Millennium Trap really kind of started to go worldwide. He's always attracted very, very positive reviews as the Doctor. And it would be nice to think we perhaps might do so again someday. You never know.